Welcome to GenAI 95946 lab, where we'll be predicting individual tax liability using ChatGPT. So here I have ChatGPT pulled up on the left. We're just going to go ahead and get started uploading the lab data for this. And starting off with question 2, where we are going to summarize. We're going to ask ChatGPT to summarize the structure of the data set and confirm each column's meanings. And then in these instructions, this is just a quick screenshot of what the data looks like so you know that you're uploading the right one. And we're just going to wait for Chat to give us those summaries. And here you can see it's just giving a breakdown of what each column means in this screenshot as well, and its tax purposes. Perfect, and then we can ask it prompt 3, where we're going to use the 2024 federal tax rules to calculate the following and return it in a clean labeled table. This one can take a little bit longer just because it has more things to calculate. Awesome. So you can see how it used key assumptions to answer this. And then here's our table. We're able to look at how each of this applies to the people for all 20 taxpayers, which is really nice and helpful. So we can just move on to question 4. We're going to ask to summarize how many taxpayers received refunds versus how many owed taxes, and then provide average tax liability, average refund amount, and the range of tax outcomes. So we can see that 4 people received refunds and 16 people owed taxes in the end, and then we see the average amounts as well as the range of tax outcomes. Moving on to prompt 5, we're going to ask it to explain why certain taxpayers owe significantly more or less than others and discuss the impact of filing status, dependence, income level, and deductions. So this is just a bigger breakdown of how tax relates to each taxpayer. Perfect, and then it also breaks down in an overall summary, which is really helpful. And then we're going to ask it to create a bar chart of each taxpayer's final tax liability. We're going to ask it to use green for taxpayers who received a refund and red for taxpayers who owe tax. Include clear labels. Awesome. So here's our chart that it created. It's very nice. You can see that the green is for the refunds, which it lets you know at the top, and the red is for the amount owed. Moving on to prompt 7, we're just gonna ask it to identify any patterns, which filing status had effective tax rates, which taxpayers benefited most from dependents or education credits. So it's just further breaking down which highest effective tax rates, some examples. In question 2, you can see how the child tax credit affected people, and lastly, the education credit. Awesome. And then finally, our last prompt, we're going to ask it to outline all the prompts used in this conversation into a Microsoft Word document, which then will be used as your submission too. Awesome. So this will be submission 2, and just a reminder, you can look at the check-in submission requirements. So submission 1 is going to be that bar chart we asked for. Submission 2 is the list of prompts, and then you'll end with answering the multiple choice and open-ended questions. And that completes our lab.